There's a big difference between what I would call futurists and techno-realists. Futurists are people who don't have domain expertise or are not practicing necessarily what they're talking about, yet talking about the future. If I wanted to do that, I would read a good science fiction novel. What I see in ROBO and the team that they have put together is a bunch of people who are really focused on being techno-realists. This does not need to be overhyped. This growth is happening, this transformation is happening, and the fact that they were willing to put on a team behind them, and I won't go through all the names of their advisors, but a great group of advisors, Professor Henrik Christensen for one, who are both really straightforward, really direct about what's possible and not possible, yet are concurrent, is exactly the way I feel too. As a techno-realist, this world is transforming. You don't need to be a futurist. And the ROBO team is doing exactly that. And that's part of what excites me about being part of the team.
As you can probably hear from the accent, I came from Europe, and about 12 years ago I came to the US and I wrote a national robotics roadmap that basically outlined where we're going to use robotics in the future. And there was an obvious sort of overview of where do we think the market is going. ROBO Global is very much about how do you leverage this future technology to be able to make smart investments. So there was a natural marriage between thinking about how can you be strategic in robotics and how can you leverage this to build economic growth. So it's a natural marriage to say, how can I be a technology expert, help people that are in the finance sector to make smart decisions?
When you see something that's going to have a real impact on decision-making around financial investment, that's one of the thin edges of the wedge where you can actually have impact on the future. So I naturally wanted to join because I want to be able to have the ability to actually influence the future of how financial investment is made. The trick is you want the people with the most influence to have the best information. Because with the best information, they can make the most rational decisions, will make the world the best place it can be. And the converse is also true. If they don't have the best information, we're up a creek. So for me, joining the board was an easy decision. It's an ability to influence precisely the kinds of decision makers that actually matter the most. Because we know this is going to be an area ripe for investment. We know this is going to be explosive in the future. And yet we know that with any explosive area, it's going to be frothy, and the signal to noise ratio is going to be poor. Too many people are going to be yelling too loudly. So what I want is a coherent message out of ROBO Global that tells the right story, so the right kind of investments happen.